Every year, Hollywood's elite gather for a celebration that defines luxury, opulence, and holiday cheer like no other. The annual Hollywood Christmas Gala, known for its breathtaking decor, exclusive guest list, and unparalleled extravagance. The gala is a spectacle that has become a tradition among the industry's biggest names. The event isn't just a party. It's a statement, a chance for the rich and famous to showcase their style, influence, and impeccable taste. But this year's gala promised to be different. Rumors swirled about an innovation that would elevate the event to new heights. Whispers among the A-list attendees hinted at a groundbreaking technology, one that would immortalize the magic of the evening in ways never seen before. The source of this buzz? Camera. This wasn't just any camera. It was a prototype developed by an enigmatic company known only as Luminaire Labs. The details were shrouded in secrecy, but insiders claimed it could capture images with such clarity and vibrance that they appeared almost surreal. Its advanced technology was said to enhance colors, textures, and even emotions, transforming every photograph into a masterpiece. As the night of the gala approached, excitement reached a fever pitch. Paparazzi speculated about who would wield the camera and what its presence would mean for the future of photography. Invitations to the event included a cryptic note: "Experience the holidays like never before." When the evening finally arrived, the red carpet shimmered under a canopy of twinkling lights. Celebrities arrived in designer gowns and bespoke tuxedos, their smiles dazzling as cameras flashed. But amid the chaos of the arrivals, a small, unassuming figure caught everyone's attention. A photographer clutching a sleek, futuristic device. This was the Luminaire Camera. Its design was as striking as its reputation, with a polished silver body and an intricate lens that seemed to glow faintly. The photographer, whose identity remained a mystery, moved with precision, capturing candid moments and posed portraits alike. As the night unfolded, the camera became the star of the show. Guests marveled at its ability to transform ordinary scenes into works of art. The photos it produced were displayed in real time on massive screens throughout the venue, each image more breathtaking than the last. The snowflake-shaped chandeliers sparkled like diamonds, the gourmet dishes looked like paintings, and the celebrities themselves appeared almost ethereal. But there was something unusual about the images. While they were undeniably beautiful, some guests began to notice subtle anomalies. A reflection that didn't quite match the angle, a shadow that seemed misplaced, or a glow in the eyes of the subjects that was almost too intense. The more people looked, the more they felt a strange unease, as though the camera was capturing something beyond the physical. One particularly observant guest, a renowned director, pointed out a peculiar detail in one of the images displayed on the screen. "Look at this," he said, gathering a small group of curious onlookers. The photo showed a couple standing beneath a chandelier, their smiles radiant. But in the background, faint and almost imperceptible, was a figure that hadn't been in the room when the photo was taken. "That's impossible," another guest murmured, their voice tinged with disbelief. The whispers grew louder. Was it a trick of the light? A flaw in the technology? Or was the camera capturing something that shouldn't be there? The photographer, still silent and enigmatic, offered no explanations. They continued to move through the crowd, snapping photos with an intensity that bordered on obsession. By the end of the evening, the whispers had turned into murmurs of suspicion. "What kind of camera is that?" one guest asked, their voice tinged with curiosity and apprehension. "It's like it sees more than it should." As the gala wound down and the guests began to leave, the photographer vanished as mysteriously as they had appeared. The Luminaire Camera, now the talk of Hollywood, had left behind a trail of awe, admiration, and questions. As attendees shared their experiences the next day, some felt a strange attachment to their images. "It's as if the photo holds a piece of me," one actress remarked, staring at her portrait. Others reported unsettling dreams where the scenes from the gala replayed in vivid, almost lifelike detail. Even stranger were the reports from those who swore they saw themselves in images they hadn't posed for, caught in moments they didn't remember. Rumors about the camera's capabilities began to spread. Some speculated it had been developed with experimental technology far beyond anything available on the market. Others suggested something more supernatural, that the camera could see into alternate dimensions or capture fragments of a person's soul. One theory, shared by an anonymous attendee, claimed the camera was a prototype stolen from a secret government project. Luminaire Labs, the company behind the device, declined to comment, adding to the intrigue. No one knew who the photographer was or how the camera had ended up at the gala. Despite the uncertainty, one thing was clear: the Luminaire camera had changed the way people thought about photography and perhaps reality itself. What was the secret behind the images? And why did some feel as though the camera had captured more than just the magic of the evening? The day after the gala, Hollywood buzzed with intrigue. Social media platforms lit up with discussions, hashtags, and viral posts about the Luminaire camera. News outlets ran stories dissecting the photos, interviewing attendees, and speculating about the mysterious photographer. Was it art, science, or something else entirely? Read one headline, encapsulating the collective fascination and unease. Attendees who had initially marveled at the camera's capabilities began to scrutinize their own portraits. One high-profile producer, known for his skeptical nature, shared his experience during a morning talk show. "At first, I thought it was just a high-tech camera," he said, holding a printed copy of his photo. "But the longer I looked at this picture, the more unsettled I felt. It's like, it knows something about me that I don't." His comment sparked a wave of similar confessions. A-list actors, directors, and even crew members who had been present at the gala began sharing their accounts. Some described feelings of nostalgia so intense it brought them to tears, while others reported a sense of foreboding, as though the images revealed a hidden truth they weren't ready to face. One actress, who wished to remain anonymous, spoke to a journalist about her experience. "In my photo, I'm smiling, but there's this reflection in my eyes. It's not me," she explained, her voice trembling. "It's like the camera captured something deeper, and now I can't stop thinking about it." Amid the growing unease, experts weighed in on the controversy. Technology analysts speculated that the Luminaire camera used advanced AI to enhance details and emotions, creating an almost hyper-realistic effect. It's possible that what people are experiencing is a kind of emotional resonance amplified by the camera's capabilities, one researcher suggested. But others weren't convinced. A noted psychologist argued that the camera might be tapping into subconscious fears or desires, projecting them onto the images. "It's not just what the camera captures," she explained during a televised debate. "It's how people interpret what they see. The mind is a powerful tool. It can create meaning where there might be none." As theories proliferated, a small but vocal group emerged, claiming the camera was supernatural in origin. They pointed to the anomalies in the photos as evidence of something beyond human understanding. "This isn't just technology," one conspiracy theorist declared during a live stream that garnered millions of views. "This is opening a door to another realm." Meanwhile, Luminaire Labs remained silent, their refusal to address the controversy only fueling speculation. Investigative journalists dug into the company's background, uncovering scant details. The few employees willing to speak described a secretive culture and cutting-edge projects, but none could confirm the existence of the Luminaire camera prototype. The mysterious photographer also became a subject of intense scrutiny. Paparazzi scoured the event's footage, trying to piece together clues about their identity. But the figure seemed to evade every attempt at recognition. "It's almost like they didn't exist," one tabloid claimed, adding an eerie layer to the unfolding mystery. One unsettling twist came when a tabloid editor revealed a peculiar discovery. In one of the gala's group photos, a faint figure resembling the photographer could be seen in the background, but it wasn't in any footage from the event. "It's like they were both there and not there," the editor mused, fueling even wilder theories. As days turned into weeks, the story showed no signs of fading. The Luminaire camera became a cultural phenomenon, inspiring fan theories, artistic interpretations, and even parodies. Late-night talk show hosts poked fun at the situation, joking about celebrities being haunted by their own glamour, yet beneath the humor, a growing tension remained. For those who had been at the gala, the experience felt personal, almost intrusive. One director described it as a mirror I didn't ask to look into, while another called it the most beautiful and terrifying moment of my life. Despite the mixed reactions, demand for the Luminaire camera skyrocketed. Collectors and enthusiasts offered exorbitant sums for a glimpse at the prototype, while others campaigned for the technology to be banned outright. The camera, once a mere tool for capturing moments, had become a symbol of humanity's fascination and fear of the unknown. Even more chilling were the reports that followed. Some guests claimed that their images had begun to change days after they were taken. Subtle shifts in facial expressions, shadows growing darker, or unfamiliar details appearing in the background left many uneasy. It's almost like the photo is alive, one actress confessed, refusing to keep her portrait in her home. What had begun as an innocent display of cutting-edge technology was now at the center of an unfolding mystery. And with Luminaire Labs' silence continuing to deepen the intrigue, one question remained unanswered. What had the camera truly captured? The fascination surrounding the Luminaire camera showed no signs of waning, but beneath the surface, unease was growing. A handful of gala attendees, unwilling to keep their concerns private, began to seek answers. What started as casual inquiries soon became an organized effort as a small group banded together to uncover the truth. Leading this group was Daniel Cross, a critically acclaimed filmmaker known for his investigative documentaries. Daniel had been at the gala and, like many others, found his photograph both mesmerizing and deeply unsettling. "There's something wrong with this picture," he told a fellow attendee, holding up the image of himself beneath a glittering chandelier. "It's like it's not just me in there." Daniel's suspicions led him to contact experts in photography, artificial intelligence, and even paranormal phenomena. One of his first calls was to Dr. Evelyn Hart, a renowned computer scientist specializing in visual algorithms. Upon examining several photos taken with the Luminaire camera, Dr. Hart was struck by the complexity of the images. "These aren't just photographs," she explained during their meeting. "There's a layer of data embedded in each one, something I've never seen before." Her analysis revealed faint, almost imperceptible patterns within the images, patterns that seemed to shift depending on who was viewing them. "It's as if the camera adapts to the observer," she said. "It's not just capturing light and color. It's interpreting, maybe even creating, reality." This revelation sent shockwaves through Daniel's group. If the camera was capable of altering perceptions, what else could it do? The team began to suspect that the device wasn't just a tool for photography. It was something far more advanced, perhaps even dangerous. Meanwhile, rumors about the camera's origins continued to swirl. A former employee of Luminaire Labs, speaking anonymously, claimed the company had ties to secretive government projects. "They've been working on experimental technologies for years," the source alleged. "The camera you saw at the gala? That's just the tip of the iceberg." As Daniel's group delved deeper, they uncovered another chilling detail. Some of the gala attendees who had kept their photographs at home reported strange occurrences. A producer claimed that the lights in his study flickered whenever he looked at his portrait. A fashion designer swore she heard faint whispers emanating from the frame where her photo was displayed. "It's like the picture is alive," she confided during a meeting with Daniel's team. Despite these unsettling accounts, not everyone was convinced. Skeptics argued that the so-called anomalies were nothing more than tricks of the mind, amplified by the media frenzy surrounding the camera. But even they couldn't deny the growing number of reports, each more bizarre than the last. One particularly haunting story came from an actress who had attended the gala with her young daughter. Days after the event, the girl began having vivid nightmares, describing a figure that watched her from inside the picture. When Daniel visited their home to investigate, he found the photograph stored in a closet, its frame covered with a cloth. "We couldn't bear to look at it anymore," the actress admitted, her voice trembling. It felt wrong. Driven by these accounts, Daniel decided to confront Luminaire Labs directly. But when he attempted to visit their headquarters, he was met with locked gates and silence. Emails went unanswered, phone lines were disconnected, and the company's official website vanished overnight. It was as if Luminaire Labs had never existed. The lack of transparency only deepened the mystery. Who had created the Luminaire camera and why? And what was the purpose of bringing it to the Hollywood Gala? Amid the unanswered questions, Daniel's group began to splinter. Some members, overwhelmed by the mounting evidence, chose to distance themselves from the investigation. "This is bigger than us," one of them said during their final meeting. "Whatever this camera is, I don't think we're meant to understand it." But Daniel refused to give up. "If we don't uncover the truth, who will?" he argued, rallying the remaining members of his team. Their determination only grew stronger when a new lead emerged. An encrypted file obtained from an anonymous source, allegedly containing classified information about Luminaire Labs. The file, which took days to decrypt, contained a single document. Its contents were brief but chilling. The Luminaire Project. Purpose: observation and influence. Status: active. Risk level: uncontrolled. Daniel stared at the screen, his heart pounding. What had started as a fascination with a seemingly magical camera had now spiraled into a web of secrets, conspiracies, and dangers he could barely comprehend. The Luminaire camera wasn't just capturing moments. It was part of something much larger. And for Daniel and his team, the question was no longer about what the camera could do, but what it was meant to achieve. Daniel's team worked tirelessly to piece together the implications of the encrypted document. The phrase, observation and influence, haunted them, raising questions about the true capabilities of the Luminaire camera. Was it simply an experimental tool, or had it been deliberately designed to manipulate the world it captured? And what did uncontrolled mean? The group's search for answers took a dramatic turn when they received an anonymous tip pointing them to a disused facility on the outskirts of Los Angeles. The tipster claimed it had once been a testing ground for Luminaire Labs, and Daniel wasted no time organizing a visit. Armed with cameras, flashlights, and a growing sense of unease, the team entered the derelict building under the cover of darkness. Inside, they found a trove of abandoned equipment, stacks of documents, and walls covered in cryptic diagrams. One room, locked with a rusted padlock, contained shelves lined with prototypes of the Luminaire camera. Each device looked slightly different, as though they had been part of an iterative process. Scattered among the cameras were notebooks filled with equations, sketches, and ominous notes like, "Reality is not fixed. Subjective interpretations vary." As the team delved deeper into the facility, they discovered a sealed vault. It took hours to crack the lock, but when the door finally creaked open, the sight inside left them speechless. A massive screen dominated the room, displaying a rotating series of images, some recognizable as scenes from the gala, others unfamiliar and deeply unsettling. One image appeared to show Daniel himself, though he had no memory of being photographed in that context. "It's like this thing sees everything," whispered one of the team members, their voice trembling. "Not just what's in front of the lens, but beyond it." The discovery triggered a cascade of questions. Were these images live feeds, recordings, or something else entirely? And how could the camera capture events that had never happened, or hadn't happened yet? Before the team could investigate further, the building was abruptly plunged into darkness. A low hum filled the air, growing louder by the second. Panic set in as their flashlights flickered and the air seemed to thrum with an unnatural energy. "We need to leave," Daniel shouted, his voice barely audible over the rising noise. The group stumbled out of the facility, their hearts racing. As they reached the safety of their vehicles, the hum stopped, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. Daniel clutched the few documents they had managed to salvage, his mind racing with possibilities. Whatever they had uncovered, it was clear they were dealing with something far beyond their understanding. Back in his office, Daniel pored over the stolen files. Among them was a single photograph that seemed to stand out, a blurry image of the mysterious photographer. Though the face was obscured, the figure's posture and presence exuded an unsettling familiarity. "It's almost like they're watching us," Daniel muttered. The media frenzy surrounding the Luminaire camera showed no signs of abating, but the team's findings were too sensitive to share with the public. They debated whether to release their evidence, knowing the potential consequences. "If this gets out, it could change everything," one member warned. But keeping it hidden, that's dangerous too. Ultimately, Daniel made the difficult decision to release a carefully edited version of their findings, omitting the most alarming details. The documentary, titled Beyond the Lens, premiered to critical acclaim, blending fact and speculation in a way that captivated audiences. Viewers were left questioning the nature of reality and the role technology plays in shaping it. But while the documentary sparked widespread discussion, it didn't provide closure. Luminaire Labs remained silent. The mysterious photographer was never identified, and the Luminaire Camera faded into legend. Yet, for those who had witnessed its power firsthand, the questions lingered. What was the true purpose of the camera? Was it simply a marvel of technology or something far more profound and dangerous? And most haunting of all, had it really disappeared? Or was it still out there, capturing truths the world wasn't ready to face? For Daniel, the journey was far from over. The final image in the vault, the one that seemed to show him in a future he couldn't yet understand, remained burned into his mind. As he stared at the photo late one night, the faint glow of his desk lamp casting shadows across the room, he couldn't shake the feeling that the story wasn't finished. Perhaps it never would be.